All right, today we're going to continue on solving equations from the state testing, and this time the question's a little bit different. So let's look here at the first question under solving equations. Number 3, it says here, enter a number into each box to create an equation that has exactly no real solutions. So for a moment here, let's erase all this. Let's just look at our question. Enter a number into each box to create an equation that has exactly no real solutions. So you should immediately be looking at, okay, I want something with no real solutions. I'm going to pick a number into each box. That means I need 2 numbers. And I'm going to be creating an equation. Notice I am not solving an equation. I'm just creating an equation. All right. So let's look at what that means here for us. We have the first question here. What is this question asking you? It's asking us to pick 2 numbers to create an equation. We're picking 2 numbers to create an equation. We're picking 2 numbers to create an equation. And not just any equation, one that has no solutions. With no solution, with no answers. So what does it mean? Pick 2 numbers, sorry, to create an equation with no solution. Question number 2 here. What does it mean to have no real solution? What does that mean to have no real solution? That means that there is no answer to the equation. No answer to the equation. Not that you don't know how to get it. There's not an answer. There is no number in the universe, no real number in the universe that will answer that equation. Good. So we talked about this the last question we did. There are different types of solutions to equation. You can have infinitely many, go and write this down, solutions. You could have no solution. Or you could have one solution. Now, the one solution ones are the ones we did last time. And that equation looks something like this. 2x plus 5 equals 3x plus 4. 2x plus 5 equals 3x plus 4. That is a one solution equation. I just created a one solution equation. And so I want us to focus in on why this is a one solution. We have our x term and we have our constant. X term and constant. So if we come over here, here is our x term. Here is my constant. I'm going to write it above there. So this is my x term. It's my x term because it has x in it. This is my constant. Go ahead and write that down. So this is my x term over here because it has x with it. And this is my constant, the number at the end. So if I look here at one solution, here is the equation that I created. What do I notice about the x terms on both sides? So here's a 2x, here's a 3x. Are they the same or different? Good, those ones are different. I'm going to put diff just to abbreviate it. So if I want to create a one solution, I need to have x terms that are different from each other. That's what we did last time, right? It could be any number except, and then whatever number it was, 34. The constant numbers here, they're different, but really they could be different or the same. It doesn't really matter. So here we're going to write down, they could be any number. Any number. Any number is going to work. X term is going to be different. The constant one's going to be any. That will give me one solution. Infinitely many solutions. So if I want to create an equation that has infinitely many, it looks like this. 3x plus 7 equals 3x plus 7. What do we notice about the x term? What do we notice about the constant? I'm going to write that down. 3x plus 7 equals 3x plus 7. So if we look at our x terms here, what do we notice about our x terms and infinitely many solutions? In order to create an equation, the x terms need to be the same. 3x and 3x, they need to be the same. And what about our constants? Our constants, if we look at our constants, they need to be 7 and 7. They also need to be the same. So if I wanted to make infinitely many solutions, I'm going to work on, I'm going to simplify this equation. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to start over here. So let's do this together. Let's finish solving this or start solving it. I'm going to multiply. 6 times 7 is 42x. 6 times 8 is 48. And then I have a minus x. Now, once we get here, we're going to combine like terms, and that's a minus 1x. So I can combine my 42x with a minus 1x. 42 minus 1. And I know 42 minus 1, 42 minus 1 is 41x. Bring down my 48 equals something x plus something. If I wanted to create a one solution, I would have to have different x terms and any number in my constant. Well, this is my x term. I just need a different number, so I just can't have 41. I could have 42. I could have 43. I could have 44. I could have 100. I can have 0. I could have 1. In fact, I could have 2. I just could not have 42. Sorry, I could have 1. I just couldn't have 41 because that's the same and they need to be different. But that's for making a one solution equation, right? I can't have 42. I could have 41. See, there's 41. It just has to be different. So that's why, I'm sorry, I can't have 41 because it's not different. That's to make a one solution equation. Okay. To make infinitely many, they need to be the same. So if this is 41, this needs to be 41. If this is 48, this needs to be 48 because they need to be the same, and that will give me an infinitely many solutions equation. But I don't want an infinitely many solutions equation. I want a no solutions, a no real solution. So how do I make a no real solutions? What does that equation look like? It looks like this. 3x plus 7 equals 3x plus 2. Go ahead and write that down. 3x plus 7 equals 3x plus 2. What can you tell me about my x terms? What can you tell me about my constant numbers? What can you tell me about my x terms? What can you tell me about my constant terms? 3x plus 7 equals 3x plus 2. Well, if I look at my x terms, 3x, they are both the same. They are both the same. So my x term needs to be the same. And for a no solution, let me look at my constants, 2 and 7. They need to be different numbers. They need to be different numbers. So these ones have to be different. So if I want to create a no solution equation, I need to put the same number. Whatever number's here needs to be over here. So here it has to be 41 because the x term needs to be the same. But in a no solution, when they cancel out, the leftovers should not be equal. So this is 48. I need to have a different number. Any other number but 48 will work here. I could put 1. I could put 2. I could put 3. I could put -10. I could put 8. I cannot put 48. So that is the only number that will not work here. So here, any number but 48. Why 48? Because that's the same number here, and I want it to be the same. This one must be 41. Why 41? Because that's my x on this side. And that's how you make a no solution equation. 41x plus 48 equals 41x plus, and you could pick any number but 48. I'm going to pick 2. That's how you make those equations.